Last episode, we put three models on the same small, wide, mixed type security table and gradient boosted trees, walked away from both the lone decision tree and the neural net. More recall, less tuning, less drama. So we've earned the right to stop comparing and start building. This episode, we build the one detector this whole course is going to lean on, a phishing URL classifier. 12 features pulled from the URL itself, how long it is, how many dots, whether it claims a brand inside a subdomain, and a yes/no question. Is this link trying to steal a credential or is it benign? We're going to train it once, seed 42, and read it the way a SOC actually reads a detector. The numbers we lock today become the house numbers. Every later episode, the imbalance fix, the SHAP triage panel, the false positive budget, reuses this exact run. So we get it honest now. First, let's name the trap most tutorials fall into. They print accuracy and call it a day. On a phishing feed, accuracy is a liar. And here's the proof in one number. Only 20% of our URLs are phishing. A model that flags nothing, predicts benign on every single link, scores 80% accuracy and catches 0 attacks. So 80% sounds like a solid B and is actually a do-nothing detector. We will print accuracy exactly once today to watch it lie and then never trust it alone again. The honest scoreboard is 4 numbers and we build toward them. Number 1 on that honest scoreboard is recall. Of all the phishing URLs that really were phishing, what fraction did we catch? That's the question a defender loses sleep over, because a missed phish is a click, a credential, a breach. Recall is caught plus missed. Our model catches 510 of 600 real phishing URLs on the test set, 90 slip through. So recall is 510 over 600, 0.85, 85% of attacks caught. That's the number that means something, and notice it's nowhere near the inflated 80 that accuracy was bragging about. But recall alone is gameable. Flag everything and you catch every attack. Recall hits a perfect 1.0, and you've also buried your analysts in false alarms. So the second number is precision. Of everything we flagged as phishing, how much really was caught plus false alarms? We flag 538 URLs as phishing. 510 are real, 28 are innocent links we got wrong. Precision is 510 over 538, about 0.95. The misconception this kills: precision and recall are not the same dial, and you cannot read one off the other. A detector lives at the tension between them. Now the number our SOC cares about more than any single rate, the false positive rate. Not what fraction of my alerts were wrong, but what fraction of all the benign traffic did I wrongly alarm on? That's false alarms, all benign. We have 2400 benign URLs in the test set, and we falsely flagged 28 of them. 28 over 2400, 1.17%. Just over 1% FPR, roughly one false alarm per 100 benign links, is the difference between a feed an analyst trusts and one they mute by Friday. The trap to kill here: people quote precision and think they've described their false positive load. They haven't. On imbalanced data, with way more benign than attack, FPR and precision tell different stories, and the SOC budget's on FPR. So here is the honest scoreboard, all 4 at once. On this seeded run, recall 0.85, precision 0.95, FPR 1.17%, and the headline single number, PRAUC 0.958. PRAUC, the area under the precision recall curve, is the one summary number that doesn't lie on rare attack data because it ignores the giant pile of easy benigns and grades you only on the hard rare class. 0.958 is excellent. And the misconception it retires: a good detector is not high accuracy, it's high PRAUC, with a recall you can defend at an FPR you can afford. One more thing about why this works at all, before the code. These trees are leaning on real phishing signal, and we can rank what they lean on. Top of the list, subdomain count. How many subdomains a URL stacks? the classic paypal.securelogin.ru move that crams a famous brand into a subdomain it doesn't own, then has that symbol, the old at in the URL redirect trick, and URL length, the lexical fingerprint of a machine mangled link. The misconception this kills: the model is a black box that found mysterious correlations. No, on good features, it found the same tails a human analyst would, and in episode 12, we'll open SHAP and watch it justify a single alert by exactly these three. Subdomain count has that symbol, URL length, and the discipline that makes all of this reusable: one seeded world. We don't download a phishing corpus that rots and changes. We build one in code under a fixed random seed, then rename the columns to real URL features. Run it on your machine, run it on mine, run it next year. Byte identical. That's why the figure you'll see, the line the terminal prints, and the headline on screen are the same numbers. There's one run and everything reads off it. This is the house dataset. Guard these numbers, the rest of the course depends on them not moving. Open arrow to phishing urls.py. About 50 lines, one screen and a bit. The shape: build the seeded dataset and rename its columns to URL features. Split off a held out test set with the same seed. Train one XGB classifier, then score it with the security honest metrics and draw the confusion matrix. No downloads, no Kaggle. Make classification and a fixed random state. Give us a reproducible phishing feed every time. Top of the file, the dataset. Make classification with 12 features, 8 of them genuinely informative, and weights 8 0.2, so phishing is the rare 20% class. That imbalance is the whole reason accuracy will lie. Class zip controls how separable the classes are. We set it so a clean model lands right around 0.96 PR IUC, the level a real well-featured phishing detector hits. Then the one move that turns math into security. We hand the 12 anonymous columns real names, URL length, num dots, haze HTTPS, subdomain count entropy, brand in subdomain, and the rest. Same array, now it means something. The split: train test split with test size 25, stratify ORY, and random state 42. Stratify matters here. It forces the 20% phishing ratio to hold in both train and test. So our test set has a faithful 600 phishing among 2400 benign. Skip stratify on imbalanced data, and your test set's attack rate drifts, and every metric you print is measuring a different problem than you trained on. The model: deliberately plain. XGB classifier with sane and exotic knobs, a few hundred trees, modest max depth, a calm learning rate, and subsample, cold sample by tree, just under 1.0 to keep it from memorizing noise. Eval metric: AOCPR, so XGBoost is itself watching precision recall, not accuracy, while it trains. Notice what's not here: no scale pose weight, no threshold tuning, no calibration. This is the honest, untouched baseline. Every later episode is this, plus one fix, and we need the floor clean. Scoring, and this is the part most tutorials get wrong. We pull predict proba, take the probability of the phishing class, and compute average precision score for PRA IOC straight off the scores. Then we threshold at the default Zopay 50 to get hard predictions and build the confusion matrix, the 4 cells TN, FP, FN, TP. From those 4 integers by hand, we derive precision recall and FPR, T power type plus speed, W1 type plus FN, F power F plus N. So you see exactly which cell each rate comes from. And yes, we print accuracy once, next to the 80% do nothing baseline, purely to watch it fail to distinguish them. Last, we render the hero, a 2-govern 2 confusion matrix, benign fish on both axes, the diagonal in safe green, and the off-diagonal misses in threat red. The big cell, 272 benign correctly cleared. The small precious cell, 510 phishing caught. The 2 error cells and 28 false alarms, 90 misses sized and colored so the cost is visible. we print the 4 headline numbers under it. And that print is byte identical to what the figure draws because there is exactly one run. So that's the house. A seeded phishing detector PRAOC 0.958, recall 0.85 at a roughly 1.2% false positive rate, and a confusion matrix that shows you precisely where it wins and where it bleeds. Log these numbers, they don't move again. But here's the crack we left wide open. Phishing was a comfortable 20% of our traffic. What happens when the attack is 1.5%? A ransomware beacon hiding in a flood of normal connections? Train this same model normally on that, and the gradient barely notices the rare class exists. Next episode, the imbalance trap. Why default training quietly ignores the attacks that matter most, and how one parameter, scale post weight, leans the whole model back toward catching them. That's SEC 003.